Hey, kicking YouTube. Welcome to episode 42. It's been a while since we've been here. Between holidays and getting ill and this, that, and the other thing. But we got some recaps to do. We got some fun stuff. So let's just kind of get...
Yeah, that one.
Sit down.
What?
I understand, but sit down.
That's the first thing people hear is get down.
That is dealing with a toddler.
Yep. So,
I thought you were saying. Oh, never mind.
we back.
Mm-hmm.
So, who remembers what we did last time?
I don't remember shit.
Oh god, I'm trying to remember. Fuck, it's been like 4 weeks, hasn't it? It's been over a month. Has it? Wait, I don't even remember how long it's been.
Just by a
All
couple
I-
minutes, but
All I remember is we gathered some supplies. We set off for a goal, and we got a new ship that can fly this time instead of swim.
Yeah, you guys
And,
had
What
about-
does so?
You guys had about a 2-week downtime.
in before we managed to lose this one.
Take your bets
you know-
now. How long is it gonna be until this one sinks?
Everyone was
you know,
kind of
it's
doing...
gonna be by the helm.
Yep, everybody was kind of doing their own thing, trying to get certain things to attune or work with other stuff, just trying to generalize, like help out the town. I know the Leonin went running around trying to bring all the people that connect the Bruxus to the little town. Figuring out the reason why Bruxus hasn't been building for an army was because their one and only blacksmith was off in the fog. Who, at least ProTech has a new friend because of that.
Wait.
And let's see.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you guys had a chat with Sandra. 3 of you guys went off to the bar to kind of just do stuff on your own. Kythos talked to the Leonin and kids. Raku wanted to try to see if she could find, or he could find, his daughter Zaya. They got reunited. Protech hung out with the blacksmith Goliath. Kind of helped redistribute those trade routes. And of course, the smith being named Brock, which kind of made people in your party wonder if the blacksmith was the reason why the town was named the way it was. Because the blacksmith being named Brock Smith. Roxas, maybe? I don't know. And I know Alamos was helping Loheim, trying to figure out some of the disenchants.
Yeah.
Trying to get some of your guys' stuff
And we're just thinking. Good point.
picked back up. I'm trying to remember. So the stuff that got fixed was the Ring of Evasion, Protect Shield, and Belt.
Mm-hmm.
I think for Thorny it was the belt as well.
Wait, I thought
Protect's belt got fixed.
No, the belt got fixed, but the shield didn't.
The animated shield?
Yeah,
The animated shield, yes.
Oh no, it absolutely got repaired. Yeah.
Oh, I thought
That
that
belt, I
Um,
don't think did.
No.
I'm gonna start doing the
Let's see. For Crossus, it was the Greater Braces of Archery, Andreas's mace got repaired. Kythos's Bloodwell vial got repaired, and figured out that the longsword wasn't actually broken.
Oh, okay.
Kythos had an interesting thing. Well, when Kythos obtained the sword, it is a semi-sentient blade. That because of how you guys were affected and because of the mind sliver in Kythos's head, the blade believed Kythos to be a like a mind flare, maybe more or less. Because these type of long swords only really work for mind flayers or really psychic creatures. When you guys passed through that, I guess that nullification field, the sword more or less got a fresh look at Kythos and went, wait a minute, you're not worthy to be wielded, be wielded by me. I'm going to turn off. And just kind of refused to work. So Kythos and the sword had a little chit chat and convinced the sword to cooperate. So the sword's back. And I think Jack's got his rod back. And I think for Thorny, out of the things that were broken, the Belt of Hill Giant Strength. And I want to say
the Dwarven Thrower, or I forget what all got broken.
The thrower.
Because I know the boots didn't. I think it was just the thrower, the belt, and my plate.
And the shield. Yeah.
Oh, the shield. Gotcha. All
Yeah.
right.
No, I think your plate was good. I think it was the thrower, the belt, and the shield. That's how I have it written down, and I have it circled, the Belt of Hill Giant Strength. So I think that's back. Let me double check. Where did I put you?
Ow! Well, it's just you. I'm getting changed.
Yeah, the plate was unaffected. The belt was back. Boots are good. Okay, yeah, it was the thrower.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get the shield magic to kick back on, kind of deal. But yeah, he got the thrower to cooperate.
Okay.
Don't look like I'm saying as much.
So, yep. And then during that time frame, a couple of the big heavy movers and the really tiny live in multiple different mouse forms. Was helping Loheim assemble a project. Lots of metal pieces, lots of things being put together. But I don't think any of you passed the insight check to kind of figure out what it is that you guys were building. So you guys were just like, cool. We put all the pieces together. Loheim's like, cool, have fun. Okay, cool, bye. And
No, Kythos and
No, I kind of just detected it was something magical, and I almost was like questioning, like, is this a bomb?
well, I thought it was
Yeah.
Kythos and Hoki's character who passed the insight.
no, it was the movers, the ones that were helping put it together.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
I wasn't there.
Yep.
VTT question.
Okay.
Did it always tell you when the DM was looking at your character sheet?
Nope.
Yeah.
That's the new thing.
Oh, really? I've seen that.
It's been a thing for a
I've-
while though.
It's been
Yeah,
it's been
I've
a thing for a hot minute. Because normally I would bring up character sheets on a separate tab. But then they made a feature to where I can just right click on y'all's token and open character sheet, and it just pops up on my screen,
Nice.
and I can move it around and stuff like that. But yes, it does then give you guys the little banner at the top. The DM is looking at your character sheet. But yeah, and as soon as I close that out, it disappears. But it allows me to give a quick glance without having to open 20,000 tabs.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah.
And,
So you guys were, Loheim's like, hey, once you guys were ready to go, it's like, all right, now you guys got to get over the mountain pass, into the next area, because you guys got the Lizard King, you guys have Xenocrates, and the Badlands that go into, as they call it. You guys get on your ship. Loheim says just steer off that direction. And you guys hop on the boat and you're like, cool, I like this ship. It looks kind of weird, but it's upgraded, it's reinforced, it looks pretty badass. Let's go. And I think it was Crassus and Kythos that went, wait a minute. You want us to go in a direction? The water ends, doesn't it? There's no direct path to where we need to go, but Loheim swears just keep going that way. And it was like, what the fuck? And there is a bunch of mechanical levers next to the steering wheel. Alamos was the only one that was like, hey, before this happens, pull the, this lever and all this kind of fun stuff and watch what happens. And as you guys were picking up speed in the water, all of a sudden Alamos is like, and everyone's realizing, well, most everybody was realizing, we're going to crash if we don't do something. And Alamos is like, oh yeah, that's my cue. Full switch. This arcane engine kicks on and you guys go up in the air. Just taking off like you guys were a goddamn plane. To which then would make sense for any of the movers, because it's like, wait, we put this thing together. Yep, you guys are recognizing all the components, and you guys are just floating in the air. So now you guys are en route. Despite it being flying, it does move rather slowly. But we ended just as you guys had made it into the sky. You guys leveled out and kind of looking around, and a lot of you guys were like, I'm looking off the edge. I'm going, whoa, look at this shit. As you guys begin your travel to the Badlands. And this is where we begin. So,
here we go.
What do y'all want to do?
Andreas
Not
is gonna
get
go
airsick.
Pretty good plan.
Andreas is gonna go over and head down to where Jax is. I'm assuming this door is open, or is
Yeah, it's unlocked.
closed? Okay, so he opens and he kind of closes the door behind him. And he walks over to Jax.
Jax is just
And
at
he,
the desk looking over papers and blueprints, and like Loheim left everything we could potentially need, and he's not much of a scenic person, so he's just sitting there going, oh wow, okay, look at this. Oh shit. Oh, this does this. Like he's figuring all the little hidey holes and components of the vessel.
So he puts his arm on the table, away from where he's looking at the blueprints at an empty spot. And he kind of looks over at Jax and he goes, all right, so now that we have the ship air in flight, what do you reckon we be searching out for next?
The Badlands? I'm not the one with the map. You got to be talking to the one with the map.
I assumed you do the sense of direction, but I guess I'll find the person with the map then. My bad. Kind of saunders off back outside to find the map guy.
Who is currently standing observing the engine that is in the middle of the boat, keeping this thing aloft.
Oh yeah, I guess that is Crassus. My bad. So he then goes over to Crassus, looks over at him, and he says, "Crassus, I need to speak with you."
Speak.
By the time we get to the Badlands, what do you reckon we be finding there? Besides monstrous enemies and possible loot plundering.
And as while he's not even, Cross is not even really like paying attention to Andreas. He's just still looking at the engine and obviously just doing his multitasking of listening and still observing. Seems
I
like
think
you
I should
have
be
a pretty
flapping.
much. Oh my god.
Would that help?
Broke's over there just like flapping his wavy arms. We all see this and we're like, what the fuck? Okay, just ignore that. I mean, you seem to have the general idea of what we are hopefully looking for, because I mean, the Badlands is supposedly where Xenocrates is at, so our first step is to get a sense of where he might be at. So we'll be on the lookout of some kind of, not a sense of direction, but clues to maybe a establishment, settlement of some sort that may be neutral or non-hostile, so that we might be able to get a sense of where we need to go.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you need me, I'll be at the helm of at the helm. Come get me if there's any problems, and I will be up there.
Okay.
So he just walks over to the helm of the ship, wherever that
Tim,
is. Direct.
Do you
What?
remember the Sunstone?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've had to use that thing. I guess since that brings up the point of then I turn my direction to realizing that, yeah, maybe that would probably be something that I need to use right about now. So I'm going to head over to a flat surface to pull out the map and use the Sunstone, which I guess would be the corridor where Jax is even currently in.
Yeah.
Is that a mat right behind me, kind of? That's not really a table.
No, I mean it's kind of like a barrel with a couple of smaller barrels around it. But if you're looking for like a large like surface, the table in the office is probably your best bet.
Something to put the map on, yeah, and the
Yep.
Sunstone. So that is where I'm going to head off to after the conversation.
Ooh. I think you guys named the vessel the Muscovy, right?
The Muscovy, or however you say it, the Muscovy, yeah.
Muscovy, Muscovoy, whatever. Muscovy. Muscovy. So yeah, you go and lay down your map that you have, and you put down
The flying duckling was vetoed.
I mean, it's
But-
the largest duck in the world. What else are we gonna name
But the
our ship?
Muscovy, the Muscovy is duck named.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to copyright a hockey movie by calling it the ship Flying Duck, but the Muscovy
Close
is
enough.
actually pretty damn good at. It's the largest duck in the world. We got a large ass ship. Like I didn't make your tokens are not tiny; they are medium. This is just how big the ship is compared to you.
Hey, so this would be like what, 10 feet squares then?
Yeah, approximately.
Approximately, yeah. I'd agree with that. Our tokens kind of take up a little bit about like
Yep.
a little over half of a square, but yeah.
So you pull out the sunstone, and it kind of gives you this interesting like a feel now that you're up in the air using this. You see part of your map start to like glow. Like the parts that you haven't visited starts to glow a little bit. Just faintly, almost like, like someone had dumped glitter and now you just put a flashlight on it kind of deal.
All right, who poured glitter in my bag? No.
But the stone itself seems to be pulling upward.
And currently where we're sitting at is kind of like roughly in about a middle of where the main water body of water is, right?
Approximately, yes.
Okay. And the stone you said is pointing upward.
Not like really pointing. It feels like it's trying to pull
Pulling.
your hand upward a little bit.
Okay. Well, upward.
And the only thing
Would
above
be
you
where-
is the flight deck.
Oh, you mean like Z-axis upward? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking in a 2-plane. You're thinking in a 3D plane right now.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing this map doesn't show is that the deck above the office is where the steering wheel and all the different engine mechanics, like the pulleys and stuff like that are. The only thing that's really up there is wheel and engine components, I should say.
Yeah.
So
But
I just think
the stone itself feels like it's is actually pulling upward, not in an actual direction of north or south kind of things. It's actually like I said, the Z axis of going because I believe that's the Z axis, yeah.
Yep.
Of going up. So yeah, knowing magic, my brain obviously is just going to be like, okay, well, up onto the deck I go.
Do you take your map with you?
Yes, I do. I grab that.
Cool. So you start heading up going back out, heading up the stairs to the flight deck. And you notice as you start going up the stairs that the sunstone starts to feel really bright. Like it's starting to give off a glow.
It'll get stronger, obviously, the more I start walking up towards the
fly in the ship.
Yep.
the deck.
Yep.
Okay. Does it seem like it's pulling me towards any equipment on the deck?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's it pulling me to?
Andreas, where are you standing right now?
I'm standing. It's supposed to be representing me standing next to the helm.
No, so you're steering the ship?
Yeah.
Or trying to? Yeah,
Trying to.
your pull it's pulling you what feels like straight towards the metallic steering column that houses the steering wheel.
I politely ask Andreas to please step aside. I need to examine the steering wheel. The sunstone, the magical sunstone, is directing me to it. And I check the steering wheel for any kind of like um
Andreas just kind of steps aside for Crassus and basically looks at him, going, "Hey, be careful. She's a bit finicky. Not like the ship on water. I'm still getting used to the air thing."
Cross
It
is
doesn't
kind
just
of
go left and right. It has banking procedures. It
Yeah,
can
having
tilt.
having
No,
been
get
a
really
flyer,
confusing.
having been a flyer himself, he's just like it always deals with it. Always, you always need to have a gentle touch.
Mm.
But yes, I
Uh,
am looking for an apparatus of some sort, or like a slot, or basically
roll
something that may the sunstone might.
roll
pop
me an
into.
Arcana check with advantage.
Can I assist or?
Well, he's already got advantage.
32.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Even though the steering wheel itself is wooden, the center of it, the all where all the spoke points connect, is made out of this very, now that you're out in the sunlight, weird stone that has like a glittery feel to it. It
Is
kind
it
of like little bits of
concave
it
or
kind of
convex?
sparkle. Huh?
Is it concave or convex?
Concaved.
Is it based concaved? So basically, I could put the sunstone into it. Like it would feel like the sunstone might actually pop into there.
It doesn't look like it could, but it's pulling you in that direction.
Fuck it. I'm gonna just like basically just kind of not like force it, but like I'm just gonna bring it down into it, or wherever I'm at, eyesight wise, and just basically just try to and just gently place it into that slot area, and kind of just hold it in place and see what happens.
The sunstone seems to like snap to this other stone. They look very different. The stone on the steering column is more of like a darker gray, whereas the sunstone is more of like, a golden kind of feel to it. But as it like connects, the sunstone starts to like fold open in ways that you've never been able to get it to do before. As the stone on the steering column or on the steering wheel seems to like move and shape itself around what the sunstone is doing. And it takes a couple of seconds for all this like morphing to happen and changing and stuff. But once it like seats, you hear what sounds like this resonating click, like this giant lock has been thrown. Like this giant bolt into like a giant door. Like it's just, and the entire vessel kind of gives off this like very light pulse, probably for the majority of the people aren't really magically sensitive. Nothing happened. But for the few, Grasses, Kythos, Jax, Thorny, maybe even Liv, there's this like quick little pulse that kind of goes through the entire vessel. And then the steering wheel starts to act on its own.
Interesting.
It starts to
Out of character, does the sunstone basically act like the compass from Pirates of the Caribbean, where it points to where you want to go?
no. The sunstone points to other waypoints. The sunstone reveals other waypoints, which is why once you found it, it kind of pointed you in the way of all the different places you guys have been.
Wait. Okay, now I remember. Okay, there was actually a little detail that I forgot that, yeah, it had an etching of the waning crest moon on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I didn't really notice that the other one did it out of just context and just connection, did that little other thing have kind of like a waning moon on it?
Yep.
I don't know if I really paid attention. Okay. All right. So
Yep.
instinctually I was just following it in order. Okay, cool.
So yeah. So the steering column starts to shift a little bit to the right, and then it like gives a little couple spins, and you feel the whole vessel like tilt and turn and start pointing, and then the steering wheel like levels back out and kind of like stops.
Are we in motion right now?
Yeah, you guys are
Like the thrusters are actually going currently, and we are actually in motion. We're not just pointing in a direction and floating.
correct.
How fast how fast are we roughly going about?
Not very.
Not very fast. Okay.
Not
so,
very fast, because despite the engines and the thrusters and whatnot, you guys are basically a flying tank.
Right.
Doesn't move very fast. It does turn pretty on the dime, but as far as like speed, you guys are probably just sailing over the mountains, the mountain pass that you guys traveled through to get to the foggy area to begin with, jungle.
Okay.
So yeah, compared to the whole big vessel, you guys aren't going zoom. You guys are going jug, 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 jug.
Okay. I have the map with me. I grabbed that. The examining the map itself. I can't, and I can't remember if you just said this to me. Is the map currently showing all of the nodes that we have quote unquote discovered?
So you are looking at the map?
I am looking at the map now, yes. Oh. There's a lot more now.
There is a lot more now. And on the map itself, you see this very like, it looks like this glowing circle that is slowly going over the mountain. So you can see where Bruxus is, where you guys took off, and you guys are just at that mountain range there.
Obviously, it's going to do that. Okay.
So
it's
you
just
guys started in the big body of water to the right of where Bruxus is. And then you guys took off going west, and in that travel from Bruxus to the west, you guys have just hit that mountain range. However, it seems like the vessel has kind of tilted you guys a little bit more north and started you guys on a different heading. But as you can kind of see, the glowing bits of the map seems to be revealed as you see what looks to be this foggy area that looks like it's high up in the sky, and then a desertous volcanic area in the northern part of the north left part of the map, which you can only assume to be what everyone calls the Badlands.
And if I am looking at this map correctly, I'm gonna draw here just to
if it will let you. This is a token.
Nope, it's probably not going to do it
So
over.
easiest thing for me, I think. If I put this like, where's a spot that's kind of out of the way? Over here. I can get.
Okay, there's a circle I just created. If you want to, can we? I think I can erase that. Ah, there we
Let me go with... Well, since we're not actively using it, let's use the sprite as the condition modifier. So according to the map, you guys are like the sprite token that is currently moving. That is currently moving in this kind of environment.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and just
So-
lock this token.
Sorry, I meant to do right click, not left click.
Restrict player access. It is locked in place.
I
Okay. So, and then just to remind
So, yeah.
everybody that basically down below with the tower in the middle and the little town is where it was originally covered by fog. Basically, that was the swamp bog area. It was originally covered by fog. We turned that off. We can actually see the little cave that we came out of at top when we had that little fun thing of falling through the clouds.
Oh, yeah, I remember falling, not falling.
Yeah, so using
basically-
using the sprite, you can kind of like map your whole direction. Like for most of you, I can't get it that north. Okay. But you can see the area just below the Parallaxes and Xenocrates where a lot of you guys started the adventure. You can see the little town in the woods that was Jax's tavern. You know, a little safe hold, a little mountainous area. You guys were first big encounter was that dragon looking guy. And then you got the foundry to the left of that with a little single boat vessel that you guys took and destroyed before making it all the way. Following that river down, you guys can spot the sea serpent that you guys had faced, and that also had the underwater temple,
Prison, yep.
the prison. And then the bigger body, you know, following that to the bigger body of waters where you guys ran into the ships and Rodir being hunted, and you guys commandeered a vessel and destroyed a bunch of others and was made safely into
Did those
Bruxus.
people rejoin back up since we basically took out Lysander as their leader? Those pirates /
You know, nobody asked that question last time. But I will say, yes, you guys have noticed that everybody that was working for Lysander under the Copperheads have either completely renounced themselves. Some of them who were part of the more heinous and vicious part of the actions were like they surrendered themselves to jail or whatnot. Or the rest of them just kind of got the pass of being able to remingle back into society. So at least for the majority of the Copperheads, they kind of went, you know what, Lysander's been defeated. We don't want to do this anymore.
Right. Okay, cool.
And you got Apollonia and Lake Jordan, and you guys had the mountain pass and that more southern green area with the circle-y water is the jungle that you guys survived in. And then teleported back out from, and now you guys are in the air over the mountain pass, heading to unfamiliar territory.
So we see the fog off in the distance.
At this rate, it's a little difficult to make out if it's fog or cloud.
Or clouds. Okay. It's like low hanging
Mm-hmm.
low hanging something. Low hanging moisture. There we go.
Yep.
Low hanging moisture. Let's go with that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone else is up near the front of the boat, just enjoying the breeze, I guess. I guess we just keep our heading. I guess we could aim for, at least what the map is showing, what might possibly be some kind of settlement. So, who is just me and Andreas up on the helm, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
I turn to Andreas and be like, "Well, you're my only person who could possibly give me an opinion. Do you just want to head over to this settlement?" And I point over to the settlement that on the map that appears on the map.
Andreas kind of looks over at the map and he looks over at the direction where the map is being pointed to, and he goes, I am sure we can do that. Give me a location, route, and I'll steer us towards the settlement.
Well, the Sunstone should help at least with that. But yes, we will obviously need somebody at the helm to kind of guide for stuff. Is there a place I can up on the helm that I can just like place the map and kind of keep it there? I don't know, a crate with some cups or something to place it onto. Tim. So
I'm
that
sure you can devise something.
Yeah.
Why don't you
something
just
that
come here
he
with
can.
me, and you can be my map navigator.
Well, actually, I'm gonna tell the others where we're going. Actually, I probably would need that map so I can point, but I don't need.
Fair enough.
I'll keep it here. If people are
Hey,
curious, they can come
Andreas.
and look at it.
Yes.
Andreas, are you trying to like grab the steering wheel again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go grab the steering wheel and you start to like try to turn it. It seems to be locked in place.
So you kind of.
You go to try to like turn it, even just a little adjustment, and it's just it's not budging.
Andrews will look at Krausus and be like, yeah, it's probably just the mechanism. I'm gonna try again.
Nothing.
Can Crosses turn the wheel?
Really funny. That is the true placebo effect.
You try, you will also find that you cannot.
Okay, so the Sunstone basically controls the wheel while it's locked into place. That's his hypothesis. So, but the Sunstone should be easily removable, right, Tim?
It was.
Easily removable. It was.
Uh-oh.
Don't tell me while it has a heading, it can't be pulled out. One of the we've already figured out a flaw of our flying fortress.
If you check your map, you notice that little beam of light is slowly moving, but you won't know more until you get closer.
Well, I guess we'll be having to follow the Sunstone thing over to our destination.
I guess.
All we can really do.
My only concern was if we get attacked in process of flying, we won't be able to. My concern is the ability to freely move and maneuver.
Let me try something first. I don't know. Andrews is gonna run this by you, but he's gonna look over at you and he says, "I'm pretty sure if we dispel magic, it would cause everything to fall. Correct?"
Yes, potentially.
Shit. All right, so we won't do that.
And I don't want to
Never
dispel
mind.
our one thing that might tell us where the fuck we're going either.
Yeah, never mind.
I won't worry. Let's not worry about it. Cross that bridge when we come to it. So,
Well, what about Arcane Lock? Or not Arcane Lock, but the other thing.
Considering.
what?
What?
Yeah, no, Arcane Lock. You use Arcane Lock on it, and perhaps
Arcane
it'll
Lock.
unlock.
Arcane Lock is it magically locks something. Which you're
Not
thinking
that
of
I'm a
is-
wizard.
believe
What?
thinking of knock is the one.
Knock. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't
That's
even know if that spell
typically
functions
for
the same in D&D
locked,
versus
like-
builders.
Hmm.
But I don't
Oh.
even have that. So, again, the
Alright.
magic user is not concerned. So
All right.
don't
Well,
be
I'll
concerned.
just be up here then, just sitting by the
Keep an eye on it.
sunstone until we get to our destination. So
We're just going where the duck takes us.
We're on autopilot. Yeah, we're on autopilot. That's just the freedom of being a pilot. There you go. You're just there just in case something goes wrong.
pretty much.
So, I guess I'll go around telling everybody that we've got a heading, and I will have the map with me since there's not really a point in it sitting around, and I will at least show people where we are heading off to. The ones that are closer, I kind of ask them to gather so I don't have to walk so far around the boat.
Just this once. Not next time. Unforgivable next time. I don't tell the
That's that.
boss-
All right.
But-
I have nothing else, Tim.
What if
I'm-
you flapped your wings? Would that help?
No, Protect. That would probably just allow me to fly, and I would have to then exert my energy to stay at speed with this, and I don't want to. exert my
Say we
energy.
strapped your feet to the boat.
Starts increasing the speed by like 0.0000%.
I think it's working.
A fight breaks out and no one can understand why Crossus is passed out.
Right? Why is our magic user passed out?
Well, we see.
How many points of exhaustion do you have, Josh? I don't know, Tim. How many points of exhaustion do I have from that?
All of it.
All of it, exactly. So yeah. I tell people.
So yeah, you start going around explaining to everybody what kind of the plan is for everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're also kind of going into very unknown territory in the sky. We've already had to deal with two dragons in this lands. 3, sorry, forgot about the very first one. So that
Yeah, what
also
did-
is something that I
What did you guys do with that one egg?
we gave it to Loheim and Brock to
That's right. Brock was
keep an
gonna.
eye on.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
gonna get kept in the forge warm.
Mhm.
And I was gonna, and I asked Loheim to kind of keep an eye on it while we were on our little adventure, hoping that maybe we incubate it and have a little pet dragon for our group.
No other place
That's the goal.
capable for a obsidian egg than it is in the fires of a great forge.
Right?
Mhm.
That's gonna have to make his job slightly harder, though.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. So you guys end up going probably the entire day's travel. You start entering the... Yeah, because it was probably mid-afternoon when you guys took off. So it's starting to get dark out. You can see the sunset going off over the mountains, even though for how high up you are, it looks like it's setting really late. But altitude and whatnot. And everything below you is now what seems to be this rolling cloud. Like the clouds are not just sitting there, they're moving, they're constantly shifting and whatnot. But your heading stays pretty straight. About an hour into this new area, you kind of get this like chill factor, like cold factor.
Does it feel magical in any sense?
No.
That's interesting. Is it still pretty clear view for us? Or are we starting to kind of also go into this cloud/fog?
It's still pretty clear.
And then underneath us is pretty much, can I see like towards the ground, or now is it kind of covered up with that low hanging cloud?
It's covered up with that cloud. Like anything, if you try to look over the edge, you can't see ground.
Yep. Okay, that's kind of what I was just checking. So perfect. Or peaks.
Mm-hmm.
Crosses is like, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Toto. Yeah, I mean, we're still heading. I don't know if we should make a fire. There's something in the cabin.
Well, I mean, in the quarters and whatnot, there's torches and whatnot. I'm assuming that throughout the edges of the boat there are lanterns and stuff. And if you guys go searching through like luggage crates and chests and whatnot, there's probably plenty of blankets and warm weather gear or cold weather gear if someone gets cold. But you seem pretty interested about the clouds. Do you try to do any kind of investigation with it?
Yeah, I mean, it would be more of or kind of like a perception, but if you investigation,
Okay.
I don't know if it was really an interest, but it does kind of pique my interest a little bit. Trying to see.
I'll investigate the clouds too.
All right, the two of you kind of wander off to the side to try to, and you guys are just high enough that, I mean, for probably easier for ProTech, I don't know, so actually with the wings, it doesn't really matter. You can almost like swoosh your arm low enough to touch it. Worst case scenario, if ProTech is helping, it would give Crossus advantage. If you want to try to roll it again.
I'll keep with the 22. I think that 22 is nice.
Those clouds look like they're doing something dirty.
The clouds feel cold.
I need ProTech there just in case something tries to grab me and pull me over.
That's fair.
As you kind of like swing your arm in to kind of feel like, what is the substance? The clouds are not just really thick, but they're cold to the touch.
If we would have tied your feet to
But
the
yet
boat,
I
that wouldn't
don't
be a
feel
problem.
anything magical, any kind of magic from them.
There is pretty much one explanation that can rattle into your brain, but the idea that it actually is true is completely and utterly far-fetched. Like,
I mean,
you
the
have
only
one
thing
idea
I could
that
possibly. Sorry, yeah.
you have one idea that comes to mind, but in order, just it doesn't seem like it's likely. But it's the only thing that you can think of.
Yeah, well, Crosses is slowly learning that the unlikeliness in this little weird ass pocket dimension is always, if it's unlikely, it's probably likely.
So what were you
So,
thinking?
that it's somehow it's like a cold region. We've been to a swampy bog area. We've been to a lake watery area. The map is showing something to be very hot, barren, obviously volcanic region. And I mean, we've always been running around in forests, so woodsy area. So I'm thinking that basically because of how cold the clouds are, that we are in a very frigid, cold region, which is a little weird because that would, in the way he would think, because of how worlds are, is that this would have to be like either the top or the bottom polar area, but obviously this is not a world, it's a pocket dimension.
Yeah, the only thing that really comes to mind is that anything underneath the clouds must be like sub-frozen, like super frozen, like an Antarctic style. And whether it be that the air itself, because the air itself feels kind of neutral warm, that it's just given off this half
Yeah, hopefully you could just get it past the cross member here and just get it.
half evaporated air, but because it's so cold down there, it's the reason why all the clouds feel like ice.
Which, yeah, and then just the heat from the other environments around kind of create that dense.
Yep. And
Again,
so it just has this rolling fog. Yep.
Yep.
So it kind of gives you this weird sense of, yeah, we're flying just above the clouds, quote. But not only can you not see anything beneath you, but it kind of becomes more of a concern of, in order an area that icy that can make this much cloud, this much fog, you know, it almost kind of gives you that sense of, if anyone were to go down to the ground, they're not going to survive for very long.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
I mean, maybe they won't. I'll probably be okay.
Yeah, the only one person who might be able
Could
to
survive a frozen tundra, yeah.
Yeah. Got that cold resistance.
Yep.
It's fine.
Was there any more investigating anybody wants to do? You guys have the whole day on the ship.
I'd like to do a history check for random duck fact.
Okay.
I mean, this is Alamos. He probably has like a weird ass archive that Loheim put in there or something.
Oh my god,
right?
I got a 19. Give me a duck fact.
God damn it.
There are at least 100 types of ducks.
Is there really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I was gonna say Thorny's just laying on the top deck in the sun, throwing her hammer up repeatedly. And watching the top deck.
Question. When the
Muscovy duck was developed in Brazil. Surprisingly, Muscovy ducks are the only domestic ducks that are not derived from the mallard stock. The wild Muscovy has a distinct color palette of black and white.
Oh my
Domesticated musky boy have many different colors. The males can grow to be quite large, weighing to 10 to 15 pounds. Most of the females are between 5 and 7 pounds and reach up to 9 or 10 or 9 times 10 pounds. Their feet are equipped with strong, sharp claws for grasping tree branches and roosting. Musky boys are unique because of their bright red crunkles around their eyes and above their beak. They do not swim much because their oil glands are underdeveloped compared to most ducks. Muscovy drakes can set 3 times a year, and the egg clutches can vary from 8 to 10 or 8 to 21 eggs. The eggs are incubated for 35 days. An interesting quality of the muscovy is the noise they make. It sounds more like a pant. Than a hiss. They are considered friendly ducks, but are wary of humans. These ducks are less likely to contract an illness than any other duck.
I don't wonder why that's what. I probably might explain why they're probably the most domesticated duck.
Muscovy varieties are blue and white,
on the
chocolate and white, white, black and white, lavender, and calico.
So
the muscovy duck population is declining and are present in small, unpopular areas where their range of food and hunting grounds are disappearing.
Damn humans.
Just imagine just Alamos just very unpromptedly just kind of stands to attention and just starts like saying this.
Right? There's just like, like the Google or
like the Google the Google TOS.
This website has a muscovy duck gallery. Wow, they are fucking big.
Oh my god!
Right.
They're pretty much they're more or less Canadian goose of the duck world.
Mm-hmm.
They're huge.
I would like to do a couple of things. I would like to look at one of the ship's engines and investigate, like, to see how it, like, fuel runs.
Okay.
If possible.
So you're trying to discover the fuel?
Yeah. Like how it works and everything, and see how, like, in case we need to refuel it, how would we do that? So we can keep tabs on it.
Isn't it just one of those like magic crystals?
From what you can see, there doesn't seem to be a type of fuel that would require refilling.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the second thing is I want to take a look at my the living armor.
Okay.
And I want to I'm not sure before we left how long
You're
it's
filled
been.
up.
I've been filled up.
You filled up right before leaving.
Excuse me.
I was talking about feeding it.
Yeah, you generally have to feed it once a day. You filled up. You filled up the morning that you guys left.
Okay, so I will feed on it at least once.
Because I remember that being one of Al's big thing. If Al, Kythos was going to take Perma and, Andreas and go make sure that the blood bag is filled. I think you guys made friends with the local butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same butcher that that Andreas weirdly
Mm-hmm.
That I weirded out was like,
you weirded out like very deeply.
So he is gonna feed the living armor, and then
You
I
you
want to try.
you filled up that morning.
Yeah.
It's not been a
No,
day
I know.
since.
No, did you fill? He filled up the bag. I don't think he's fed it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Is I'm trying to
No,
feed
you,
it.
Okay. Cool.
And I want to train the living armor a bit, see what I can do, what I can't do, because I want to see if I can't get like a assassin blade under the arm kind of deal. That would be cool,
Oh boy.
like a tendril or whatnot.
Yeah, you start working with the living armor, and I don't think you've really worked with it before. I think the last time you worked with it, you got the helmet aspect of it to pop up and pop down. But yeah, you sit there and spend some time working with the armor. Trying to go from there.
Hello.
Yeah, what is everybody else doing?
It says Thorny's very
Listening to
simply
Duck Facts.
Yeah, riddling off duck facts.
Protect and Alamos become best of friends because Alamos keeps talking and Protect's like more.
Did
Or perhaps a back
potentially-
and forth.
Is there a way to go down under below deck?
There is.
Cross is gonna go explore.
You're gonna go explore. Most of the below deck, there's a bunkhouse underneath the office, where the majority of you guys have your stuff set up. It's a much large bunkhouse. Like if the office has the like one bedroom, the office, kind of thing, that entire space has like a space that everybody has like their own like double bed and chest and closet space. Like everyone has their own room pretty much.
Who made dibs on the captain's quarter bed?
How you can do that? Because I don't think anyone's fighting you.
I don't think
anybody
anyone
was
did.
declared.
No
one was really declared captain.
I mean, I'm comfortable with really anything, but part of me wants to say big bed for biggest person.
Right?
I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
I'm just joking. Captain's quarters is all nice and everything, but
No, but like I said, there's enough space in below the office where everybody has this type of little bedroom.
gotcha. Is there a like a workbench kind of thing?
There is. There seems to be several workbenches, little tool area.
Nice.
And a lot of the underdeck though seems a little bit short because there's a lot of like pipes and engine mechanical fittings that's running the length of the ship. So there's a lot of like very narrow passageways where somebody of a normal height can walk normally without having to constantly duck. But like the central running of the ship that like goes from like nose to back, there's just that one, like if you were going to split it down the middle, point to stern, is just pipings and everything running down the middle of it that will branch off to different areas and components and stuff like that.
Okay. Out of character, you said you were going to work on trying to create a button for the firearm that I had done modifications on, the hunting rifle. Did you ever get a chance to do that? If not, I can just write down the stuff.
I have not.
Things later. Okay.
We can.
Well, no biggie. If there's other things that take precedence, I have still all of the modifications. Actually, in the little DM chat to you. So I just noticed that, so that's just an out of character thing.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I think I was debating if I needed to make a button or an actual
like item or
weapon.
something.
Yeah.
But see, if you make it I will let you know if you make it magical in any form. I can't infuse it because my infusions have to be on mundane items. Yeah.
No, I know.
So, okay. Yeah, I assumed you did. I just wanted to, reminder.
Alrighty. So, I know when you're down, but yeah, otherwise it's like you got the bunkhouse underneath where the office is. You got workbench stations underneath, towards like the back half of it. The front section underneath, is like this giant storehouse. Like everything you guys could possibly need is there. And there's also a space because this front section is up. There's a storeroom and kitchen underneath this front part.
Nice.
So it's kind of like the lounge.
Who's our cook again? Is that Jax?
Possibly. I'm not sure who else can cook.
I can't. I'm not proficient with chef's tools.
Checking. I mean, Jax is, but yeah, okay. I guess Jax is he's the cook.
Well, I just to kill time. You don't obviously, Tim, don't need to make a giant list of this. Crosses is just going to mentally take an inventory of things, food, what have nots, while we're all killing time. So that's what he's doing.
Yep. All right. It gets dark out. Kind of inquires bedtime. Gets to the point where the only light. Yeah, it gets to the point where the only lights that you guys can kind of see now are whatever lanterns are lit on the deck of the ship or in the offices or anything like that. Down below, there's hanging lanterns all over the place.
Probably
Andreas will take first watch.
Yep. Sweet. I'll take first watch as well.
Crosses and Thorny and whatnot would also notice that all the lanterns on the ship seem to have like this arcane feel to them.
Oh.
No dispelling of magic. Got it.
What's the worst that can happen?
Not necessarily that kind of an arcane feel, but you are pretty sure that there's a way to remotely control the flames.
Well, yeah, it's the spell control fire. Sorry.
Without wasting a spell.
Remotely control. Okay, cool.
All right, so everybody heads down to the bunk and gets comfy for the night.
Alamos is going to stay above deck.
All right, Alamos is staying up top.
Andreas is staying by the helm for the first shift.
All right.
We're just going to go find a nice fluffy bed to lay in for a little while.
All right, those on first wash, roll me a perception check.
Yes. I ain't seeing shit.
That's two 19s in a row.
Nice. So, Andreas, the only thing that you're like perceiving is the engine. Now that there's not the sounds of everybody walking around, opening, closing doors, messing with things, you're just kind of standing by the helm and whatnot. The engines, you notice, give off this like interesting little like hum. It's almost meditative. And just, you would think that they would be the loudest thing here, sitting there and pumping out, sounding like a, V8 on a little dune buggy kind of thing, but they're relatively quiet. They just got to give off this, the two tanks kind of give off this like hum.
Okay.
It's kind of soothing despite, what it's doing. And Alamos, you're kind of just going around, checking the size of the ship, looking down, just making sure there's nothing out of ordinary. In the darkness, you kind of, stop and give a couple glances way out in the distance, because you're not sure if what you're seeing way out in the distance is the rolling of the clouds or shape developing the clouds or something, out there. You're not quite sure. You're just still kind of like, okay, cool. It's just peaceful and dark, and it's just a little unnerving because you're in very unfamiliar territory. You have no idea that what's going on below you, and you really can't see much around you because of this frozen fog. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But as far as you can tell, nothing seems to really happen. So, more middle of the night clicks around, second watch steps out. Roll me perception, second watch.
Oh boy.
A nat 20.
I'm on last.
Ditto.
Oh, well, as Alamos is continuing just walking the ship, looking over the edge, making sure everything's secure, just kind of just busybody stuff to pass the hours. You kind of get this glimpse, some kind of like shadow seems to see it off in the distance, and you're not sure what the hell it is. It's just way out there, but it's like this slow moving shadow that kind of just disappears and pops back up and gets to the point where you're just like off on the side of the ship staring that direction, going, I'm gonna see what it I'm gonna figure this out. But
they're not the fucking Ender Dragon again.
You just can't, you're not sure if it's distance or what. You even get to the point where when Liv comes up, you flag her over and goes, do you see anything out there? And even Liv's like, I don't know. Not sure. Like, again, it's not sure if it's moving cloud or if it's a shadow or, because since you don't know anything that's underneath the ship, you're not sure if it's, just maybe the shadow of a mountain range that you guys are just getting close to or what. You guys are blind for anything below you, and you guys are up, several hundred feet in the air.
Yeah.
Easily. So,
quick question.
Sure.
Let me see if Mouse is even able to wild shape yet. Oh, he can. All right, so Liv can wild shape. Would I be able to? How fast is the airship going now?
Mouse is here, by the way.
Yeah, he entered in a long time. So.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, you had.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I was thinking about wild shaping. I was like, I can wild shape and go out there and see what's happening.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Wild shape and just fly out there.
Actually, I'm gonna do that because it was my thought too. I'm gonna wild shape into a bird and fly out there for
What kind of bird?
On.
I was gonna say Quetzalcoatl, you know, keep up with the airship.
I don't have that chart anymore. I have changed my PC, so I have to find that chart now.
But yeah, I would say my bid would have been a Quetzalcoatl, keep up with the ship, you know.
There it is.
As Mouse's representative of Sharky Doggo will ask for the Quetzalcoatl.
As the ambassador of all druids.
So yeah, Liv goes running off to the side of the ship and starts to wild shape while leaping off. And despite the size of Quetzalcoatl, you're small compared to the ship. But it's a bird that can easily zoom ahead and check something out and venture back. So you go out about a few hundred feet in this direction that like Alamos is like completely content of something is out there.
Right.
And you go sailing overhead, nothing but just rolling cloud, icy frozen cloud beneath you. And you get about a few hundred feet away from the ship. And as you're kind of glancing down, you see what looks to be a rather large shadow moving towards the vessel.
Oh. I am flying as
How
fast as I can.
how large are we talking? Are we talking Ender Dragon large?
No.
I am flying
Bigger, smaller?
back as fast as I can.
Yeah, you zoom back real quick, like whatever is going on, you're much faster. You come speeding back to the vessel, land on the deck.
Well,
get ship back. What do you do?
What did you see?
I immediately say there is something heading this way.
But how do you say it?
Oh no!
Do you ship back?
Very. I do ship back.
Okay.
It's very large and
that was my big question. Was like how are you speaking? Because nobody can understand a Quetzalcoatl at the moment unless you shift back. So yeah, you come flying back. You shift back. You kind of land next to Alamos and explain.
Yeah,
something large is heading to the ship.
Yep.
How far below deck are the quarters?
How below deck? They're one level low, but they're back here.
Okay. So they're at the back of the ship.
Yep.
I'm gonna literally just kind of go towards, like, I guess towards the steps of the like where it would lead down. I don't know if I should roll a performance check or not. I don't know. Just basically yell, wake the fuck up, something's coming.
Yeah, roll me a performance check. Now that you put that little bug in my ear.
Shit.
So you hit one of the doors that leads you below, and you go running, quick as you can down the line, and you kind of get back to where all the bunks are, and you just kind of like shout. But you were trying to do it like nicely, but instead it just came out as this siren alarm. This robotic, like we do, something is coming, y'all need to get up.
You know what? I think that's perfect.
Instead of coming in and announcing it in the most, nicest way that a person in dead sleep can wake up to, you just kind of like come marching in like a
hurricane.
Like a
It's a
hurricane
fucking
alarm,
tornado
military,
alarm.
yeah.
Tornado alarm.
You need to get up. Something's coming.
That's fucking brilliant.
It's not very nice, but it does the trick, and it's loud and annoying and.
And just wakes up, rushes out to the front of the where everyone else is gathering. What's going on? I was having me go for good sleep.
Something very big, very large, and enough to scare Liv. I think.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
He
Not
goes over to
interesting. Get up now.
No, he is up. He's like rushing over to one of the crossbows, or the trebuchets, and like patting on it. We've got weaponry here.
Yeah, we're also flying in the sky, and you've never shot one ever.
But I've handled cannons, so it's similar to a cannon.
Lead your shot.
Deltas is just kind of just annoyingly just kind of annoyed, just ignores them and fucking goes back to slight panic.
I go back up. I'm on the deck also with everybody.
Does everyone rouse?
Yep.
All right, everybody.
We still need somebody to play Kythos. I don't know because I noticed Sharky left. If you want to snag him back in.
Oh yeah, we could do it. We could do it with that, but
it's just a side thing I noticed.
Project, help me over on this side. You grab one end, I'll grab the other.
Okay.
I can be the aimer, you can be the shooter.
Let's see.
Okay. Whose attack roll gets used?
I think it would be yours then, because I would push it.
You're aiming.
Yeah, I'd be the aimer, and you would shoot it, because you're the one hitting it, I think. I don't know.
I don't think it's that heavy. We probably one person, but that's just me. Oh, I've got my gun at the ready.
Alrighty, so
I'm actually gonna put myself, Tim. Is there a crow's nest real quick on this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm flying myself up into the crow's nest. I'm not climbing.
How much of a rotation do these crossbows have?
Rotations?
Yeah, like how far around do they rotate? Like, is it like 180? Do they go the full 360? If they rotate at all.
They rotate, but they rotate. I mean, if you very much have the ability to put the bolt between that post and this post.
Okay.
So you have a fairly wide, almost 180 swivel. Same thing to the other side. You could put that bolt between, post and post. So this entire curved section of that bow that it sits next to, you can get a nice little swing because its swivel point is front and center.
Right, okay, that's fair.
Actually, wait.
You can't really necessarily point directly forward, and you can't really point directly backwards.
Right. Okay, I understand.
Andreas actually is gonna head up to the helm because he wants to make sure if he can try to see if it's done. The sunstone issue.
You want to go check the sunstone?
Yeah, Andreas is gonna go check the sunstone. So he's gonna look at Protect and be like, "Hold the spot! I'll be right back as soon as I can." And he rushes over.
You go
Okey-dokey.
and you go and try to fandangle the stone, which doesn't release. You try to move the wheel, which doesn't seem to let up.
Damn it! Cross this! He like kind of yells out up above. We've got a small problem. We can't steer the ship very well.
Cross is just like, yep, that was my concern. I don't know if he ever even. He kind of just mumbled that. He was like, yeah, I kind of thought that. Again, crossing the bridge now. I don't know. Like, I guess I could. It is more roughly a. I don't know. It's more anyone could use it, right, Tim? It's not attuned to anybody specifically. You just have to kind of concentrate.
On what, the sunstone?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not really attuned to anybody or anything. It's just you're the one that was utilizing it.
If you hand me the sunstone, I can try to steer the ship with it.
I mean, I yell out, just concentrate really hard and try to pull it out. It's magical.
Okay.
The
I will
fudge?
try that then.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know who did that.
Y'all remember dial-up? I remember dial-up.
Yeah.
Did all that? Did that happen to everyone?
Did the boat just get nuked?
What is this?
I don't
Wait,
know.
wait, the fuck?
Clearly, the DM did not do this. So,
who did? Who's touching shit?
It goes
I
away.
got kicked from above. Yeah.
Got kicked? Okay,
Yeah, I
reload.
got kicked from that.
Reload.
I reloaded.
And we all good.
I am back. I am
no,
back
I'm
in
still
it.
on.
I'm still on.
I just
right.
I don't know who. Yeah, I don't know what caused that purple circle.
Andreas is gonna concentrate then and try to remove it.
It does not come free. So by this time, everyone's rushed to the front of the ship. It's still plenty dark out. But as everyone's trying to figure out where Liv and Alamos are pointing at, it becomes apparent that there's not just one moving shadow.
Oh no.
There's several.
Shit.
Alamos runs below decks to make sure the cannons are good to go.
Cannons?
I thought there were cannons below deck.
No.
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 Tim never said cannons.
Nope.
Just
You
pipes,
guys-
just pipes and corridors and sleeping areas.
Nope. Your guys' weaponry are the two
Ballistas.
ballista.
That's remembered.
Well, yeah, no, we do have two cannons, Protex.
Yep. I was gonna say, but I was thinking better of it.
All right, Protect, climb on the ballista.
This looks like a good seat.
So while y'all are are waiting, what comes up out of the cloud are about 6 small white wyverns. They're still compared to you, they are still fairly large. Compared to the ship, they are tiny. But you can easily tell that sitting on top of each one is a person. They zoom past the ship. They come back around. They just kind of seem to be
Dragon Riders?
spiraling and circling you guys a bit. But despite you guys like trying to take aim and trying to figure out, nothing hostile happens yet.
Process
What do you
at
do?
least yells out so that everyone just
I
doesn't
wave.
do anything. Hold your fire.
I wave friendly.
Who is your dragon leader? We want to negotiate a peace.
What?
So you're
We
more or
don't
less
even know if
shouting
these are
like
these-
these guys are like swooshing overhead, like they're getting close to the ship, but they're not getting close. And they're coming up from beneath you. They're zooming above head. They're swooshing down next to you. You guys call out a couple of different things. Protex just waving to the white ducks.
Yep.
And surprisingly to this roll, one of the wyverns kind of like comes up flying beside the ship. And you see the head of the dragon rider, and it looks to be like a human female wearing bits and pieces of like makeshift armor, kind of rough patched. He kind of gives you the feel of like a gladiator. And seeing Protec, they kind of lock eyes for a minute before she shouts back, "Do you know you're trespassing?"
I had no idea.
We don't even know.
I don't know where I
we are.
am.
Where are you going?
I can honestly tell you I don't know the answer to that either.
Allow us to explain our situation, dear friend. My associate here, Crassus, can explain the further of our details of our adventure.
Like these guys
We
are
not
just
mean to
zooming all
trespass.
around.
We not mean to trespass unawares. Isn't that right, Crassus?
I don't know if I could really hear anything. I'm up in the crow's nest, really.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
from up in the
do you
crow's
want to land
nest.
so we can talk?
Yeah, from up in the crow's nest, you can tell that one of the dragon riders is shouting to Protec, and Protec's like, "I don't know."
And clearly,
know the
at
answers
least
to
they're
any of
not
these
attacking
questions.
us. Yeah, they're not attacking us. So I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, there's enough smart people down there. I think we could talk our way out. We don't need to have the guy who's all the way up in the crow's nest, your sniper, to come down and negotiate.
We just need safe passage to get to the Badlands. We mean no trouble. We mean no harm. We just need to find a settlement. Is all.
Her eyes kind of like furrow when you mention the Badlands. What do you want with such a desolate place?
As I mentioned before, we are trying to find. And this is just out of character. We were trying to find Lysander, right?
No, we're trying to
No.
find. We're trying to kill Xenocrates now.
Okay. We are trying to find a dangerous enemy, such as a man named Xenocrates. I'm sure you have heard of this person.
She laughs and laughs and laughs. You lot trying to kill the world maker? You guys are more foolish than you look.
I'm sorry. Hold there for a moment. The world maker. Might you elaborate that?
I swear we know about.
Not new
this, don't we?
information.
Not new information.
We know that. They just
Wait.
call him. They just call him that. That's just what they call him now.
I know, just to get more information though, just out of curiosity.
What more information can they give you? You know, you ask for elaboration, and she's just like, "You really think you can challenge the world maker? You guys are stupid."
Well, we have been through quite a bit here recently, but we are stronger than you think. What we know that this world maker has put a lot of people in disdain, and we wish to stop that. And we would like safe passage to the Badlands.
Our job as the Drodeca is to keep people from foolishly aiding the world maker's premise.
Well, I can guarantee
we
you.
do not let the unworthy pass. We have
Then how
established a border, and we will hold it.
He kind of takes one step, just carefully. Take one step further to get to the railing here and lean against it. And he looks over at the Dragon Rider. Then how can we prove ourselves worthy? So that we can show you that we are not a part of the world maker at all. That we are against the world maker.
Everyone's against the world maker, silly. We all came here not by our own fruition.
Well, then let us prove it to you, at least. So that we may be worthy.
What do you need for us to prove our worthiness?
She thinks about it for the second, and the dueling pit. We will need to see your worth in the dueling pit.
Oh, I love dueling pits.
We will escort you. Just don't change course. You do anything hostile.
Not a problem.
We will. If you do anything foolish, we will take down your vessel before you have a chance to react.
Well, there might be a small problem to that, and this is not we're going to not listen to you. Our steering, our helm is trajectory on a course that we cannot alter, and we can't move the steering wheel. It's locked in place.
Did you break my creator ship already?
Andreas didn't.
Locked by what means? She asks.
We may have put in a certain stone that shows us landing places to land and other inquiries, and now it just locked the steering wheel.
Andreas Protec Alamos, give me a perception check.
Oh god. Hey, 26. Nat 20.
Nat 20.
As you're trying to explain to her this very interesting stone, you see that hanging around her neck is a very similar stone.
What? That's it. That's the stone you have. The thing. It was called the sunstone. That's what it was. Aye.
Then maintain this course. We will escort you in. And then she kind of like tilts off to the right, and then the dragon kind of steers off a bit, and she kind of goes back to like leading the front. And you kind of notice now that the the worms kind of start coming up and like hold a particular.
At that time, noticing that she has gone off and we are not being attacked, Crosses comes down from the crow's nest and says, "So hostile or non-hostile?"
Non-hostile. Apparently, my negotiation skills were pretty good, surprisingly, and that's shocking to me. I never do negotiations well. Half the time, I'm always breaking things.
That is very shocking.
Non-hostile right now.
Yeah.
Well,
but there is mention of a dueling pit, so
Yes, there is that. We need to
dueling
prove our worth
pits?
at a dueling. Yeah, we need to prove ourselves in a dueling pit, and I'm not sure how that will go. But I'm gonna head back to the helm and stay there for a bit, so we can make sure we're staying on course, so that we don't anger the dragon lady.
Well, it's
And
still
Tim, what's
fairly
this group
dark
called
out.
again?
Huh?
What did you call these riders again?
The Drodeca.
The Drodeca. Okay.
It's still fairly dark out. You seemingly still have a long way to travel. And now that you seem to have an escort, it still allows those that need the rest of the night to sleep to go back to bed.
Well,
I'm also before Andreas goes anywhere, just kind of stops him for a second. If I so much as lose an arm, I will force feed you magma imp blood.
It got really loud really quickly.
Yes, I.
So Alamos doesn't want these riders to be enemies, clearly.
For Andreas' sake.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to make these guys our enemies, but fair.
All right.
Well,
so
me and Thorny were on last watch.
Okay.
For the rotation, so.
Alrighty. So everybody else that needs sleep goes diving back into bed.
Flop on the deck. Just going back to bed right where I was.
Crosses is kind, and he just kind of goes and grabs like a sack of something soft to put under Protect's head. It's like, here's a pillow at least.
Alright.
It's like, if you're going to sleep anywhere, at least be comfortable.
I am comfortable anywhere.
So where the two or the three of you hold up?
I will put myself back up into the crow's nest.
Crow's nest.
Go to the prow of the ship.
Periodically peering through my rifle's scope.
Thank you. Alamos, where you go? Just kind of hanging out by Protec, or?
Kind of,
or just kind of scouring the ship.
The front of the ship.
Alrighty. Your guys' is kind of uneventful. As the sun starts coming up, you realize that the direction that the dragons are flying happened to be the exact same direction you guys are flying. Because they warned you not to change course, and even though Andreas is like, well, we can't even if we wanted to, it seems to be working just fine. But yeah, early morning comes up, the sun seems to come up over the horizon earlier than normal. Mostly because of altitude. But kind of way off into the distance, you guys see an image appearing in the sky. And even though it seems like it's still several hours ahead of you, at least, maybe like the half a day's journey, you see what seems to be structures floating in the air.
Structures.
Given that it is a lovely halfway through our session, as we transition into the next section, we'll give ourselves a little 10-minute potty food break. Gonna go from there.
Yep.
So
Cool.
I will do a quick little break, and we'll see you guys back shortly. to the game. And we're back. So,
hello.
You guys are waking up in the morning. You know, the dragons are still in formation, flying in the direction that you guys are already going. Andreas is kind of hanging out by the helm, even though there's nothing he can do at the moment.
The current highest is the Badger, which has 3,388 DPM, meaning that at less than 50 meters, the Woodskavitsa is dealing.
Almost is just being
The
like
Badger.
and I've just trying to get like a what's your deal type look at the Dragon Riders.
However, we can clearly
Yeah, they look like they're on small, like, white wyverns. They're
No,
not.
like what's the deal? Like why? You know, just trying to basically suss them out.
Oh, yeah. Why, you're not sure. And more specifically, you know, given the
How?
situation that you guys are in, yeah, it's like how and why and what and did I mention what? But as you guys are, you know, just cruising, you see something in the distance starts to make out. It looks like floating structures. It's really weird. It's unusual for you guys, and you're not sure if they're actually floating or if there's just something underneath that you can't see. But as you guys get closer, you realize that one structure is like even two-tiered. There's a couple smaller structures around the outside of it. But the dragons are still flying right towards it, and very easy to see that whatever course that the Sunstone has you guys on is heading to this direction. Up in the crow's nest process, you can start making out something far easier than everybody else, and that, yeah, there does seem to be large floating islands out in the middle of this desolate, frozen, rolling cloud wasteland. And eventually, you guys start getting close enough to really have it come into view.
Do we see more people flying around on wyverns?
Not at the moment. But this is kind of what you guys see as you guys get closer. And around the time that the Dragon Riders start to break off of formation, Andreas, you hear this gear click as the steering wheel starts to like shift from side to side a little bit.
Andreas will grab the helm kind of to level it out.
Yep, you level out and you realize that you have control again.
Interesting. The approach, you see that there seems to be 4 islands that are kind of scattered about, floating, just hovering, like bodies of stone just flying about, floating on these clouds. The central island seems to have 3 levels. You got a lower section, a mid section, and an upper section. Then around it, there are 3 islands from there. They're massive compared to your guys' ship. And as a couple of the Dragon Riders break off, the one female drifts back to your guys' vessel
and says, "Follow the lead rider. We need to go speak with someone before we let you do anything else." So they break off.
Understood.
They seem to break off to where what you guys would see as this upper level. But the lead rider has you guys drifting directly to what they call the Island of Duels.
Andreas will kind of call out to the lead rider. Hopefully the lead rider could hear us.
What are you saying?
So this might be a wee bit of time to mention, but I've been sailing ships all my life, but I've never sailed a flying ship. So you might have to guide me to the docking area if that's all right with you, dragon rider person.
He kind of just gives you a glance and continues flying because that is exactly what he's doing. Is that he wants you to keep following the main rider all the way to the Island of Duels.
He just doesn't want to crash into the docks by accident as well.
However,
He's worried about.
Your shouting can be heard by your team's favorite automaton, who has a running idea of how the levers next to the helm operate. Alamos, do you go and assist? Daniel?
Yeah, sorry, what? Sorry.
Do you want to help assist me try to park the ship, or should I crash into it by accident?
Yeah, Alamos shouts that he's sailed vessels, but not on the island. He doesn't want to smash into something. And I reminded him that his shouting would have been heard by Alamos, who does have a working knowledge of the levers and systems that are posted next to the helm. So, does Alamos go and assist?
You know, touchy. I'll take care.
So yeah, the Dragon Rider breaks off right at the entrance. You can see the dock that kind of juts off the side of the island. And between your steering and your lever pulling, you manage to get the ship to drop to the right altitude and shift to the right angle and eventually stop and I guess what we call a dropping anchor, but it's not really an anchor, more or less a engine stall that allows the ship to stay airborne, but in one spot. Dock workers toss up to you guys what looks to be glowing rope. For the team to moor the vessel to the dock.
Probably grab the rope and tie it to something.
Almost as busy with the lepers.
Alrighty. You go start tying the ropes down. They're kind of glowy. They're obviously magical. And even one of the dock workers that tosses it up is like, put on these magical moors. Even if the winds change, your vessel won't go drifting off. So these ropes kind of act as a anchor for the ship to stay on the side of the island.
Right.
So you guys parked there, and the ship dock workers just kind of cross their arms and wait because they're waiting for seemingly approval before letting you guys do anything. Is there anything that you guys do try to do?
Andreas will kind of gather his supplies, gather his things, and like walk off to the dock of the area. Try to look around for a bit and go, all right.
Well, as you start to stepping off the as you start to step off the vessel, the dock workers are like, ah, da, 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 da. You know, please wait for Tifa to come back.
Andreas will kind of like nod and he pulls up like a barrel, kind of sits on it, and he goes, looks around. He says, "So I have a question, if you don't mind me asking. How
Okay.
are these islands floating? Never seen such islands float before. Is it like magic, or is there like a mechanical system to it?"
He just kind of goes, for that, you can thank the World Maker for. For how? We don't know. We just know that it does.
But personally, I don't get me wrong. I don't like the World Maker, but floating islands kind of seem pretty cool. You know, you've got cities below, cities above. What next? Cities in space. As he like takes out a laugh and slaps his knee.
Mm. You start hearing a voice come up from behind the dock worker as Tifa jumps off of her wormling and starts walking over to you guys. And said that the king has allowed you guys to test your worth up in the dueling pit. He'll be watching from above. As for the floating islands, as far as I know of our history, during all of the rampaging that the World Maker was doing to find their perfect battle, putting himself in certain situations just wasn't enough. You know, hazards could change, still wasn't enough. At one point, they decided, the lore goes that the World Maker was battling somebody and figured that the icy level wasn't good enough. So he wanted to have a duel where fear of fall became subject in nature. And thusly, these islands were ripped from the earth, and they have been placed here. We don't know what keeps them afloat. We just know that they are floating. We have built a society around that.
I will say one fatal flaw about the floating islands, and I just want to make sure you're prepared. But say the floating islands lose its floatiness. You do have an escape plan for all of your people and your king, right?
For most of us, no. For some of us, yes.
Well, if we pass the trials ahead, I'll have to talk with my team. But maybe I can find a way to do safe passage if in case the island's floaty, because last thing I want is innocents to die by falling from, and he does like the finger quotation marks with his fingers, falling islands, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Process, does that make sense? You see what I'm getting at?
She gestures.
I want to just shut your mouth, Andreas, because it's almost starting to sound like you're making a threat of some sort.
No, I'm not making a threat. I'm just worried that if we defeat the World Maker, then all of its magic will fall. That's my main concern.
Our main concern was also just this whole world disappearing after we defeat him. We don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, don't turn our temperamental allies into our enemies, Andreas.
How about we just leave it to the unknown and let them live their life?
But Tifa gestures to an island kind of more south. It's larger than the one that you're on, but it seems to sport some sort of mountain on it. And all she says was, our island of wild, as long as it keeps producing flying beasts, we will find a way down if necessary.
Fair enough. Well, lead us on, Miss Tifa lady.
Yeah, like I said, her image is very gladiatorial. It almost represents the type of gladiator style outfit that Kythos wears, or was wearing very early when you met him. And Tifa then kind of gestures you guys to the arena, which is the one and only thing on this island of duels. And as you guys are walking in, she mentions that these are games, but they're here to test your worthiness. There will be 3 rounds. You know, one for showing your group's ability to handle situations. The very first one will just be a battle of strength, battle of fighting. Your best versus our best. The rest of you can watch. So think that over and decide who will represent your team as our fighter is currently preparing.
Good. I'll gladly do it.
I mean, I was going to say, I think Protec is probably going to be our most best upfront fighter.
Andrews will just like raise his hand. I vote for either Protec or Kythos. Either one is good.
Are they rules for this? Are there any hidden rules like no magic?
It's just straight up fisticuffs, physical.
That will depend on who you choose.
I mean, Liv is still pointing at Protec.
Yeah.
She heard the word strength, and she only knows Protec is the strength
Well,
one.
he said strongest. That doesn't always mean strength.
True, but in her head, that's what she's thinking.
Arguably got the most resilience.
You do when you rage, exactly. That's definitely
Even without, I mean, my base health.
Yeah. You're also a little bit harder to hit.
Mm-hmm.
What is your AC?
21.
Yeah, where like I think a few of us are still under 20.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm with Protec on this one. I'm on 21 too.
Same.
It's hard to say because we've seen Protec, obviously the amount in combats of what damage can be done, but that can vary for each person. It's just how it depends on how you play. So to say the strongest,
it's Protec, I would say. I mean, Andreas has his strengths, but he's nowhere near ready to like do a challenge with Protec.
I'll have to fix the tokens here in a minute.
Well, so far it just seems, it seems like majority is sounding Protec. So
it sounds like the group is going to vote Protec.
So I do want to say, Project, next rest, I want to challenge you to an arm wrestle.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna break you. He's gonna break the table with you.
You have to bear in mind, Andreas is not even a light load.
No, and I'm like the second heavy person.
Instead of arm wrestling, he just stands up and picks you up by one arm from the table. It's like, do you really want to do this?
Hey, I would say Andreas has some heavy hitter points. I like that.
Well, we all pretty much could be heavy hitters in some way.
Yeah.
My,
Oh, absolutely.
My character is built to stay out of range and just exactly that. But that's what, and that's kind of like, as Tim said, it depends on who we throw in. If we throw in a magic user who can definitely dish out a lot of magic, like Kythos or myself, he may also throw in a magic user as their strongest. This is out of character thought, so I'm not saying that Protec couldn't win this. It's just,
yeah,
he didn't really tell us what we were going up against. He just said strongest warrior.
Mhm.
Heck, their strongest warrior could be a paladin.
Their strongest warrior could be a dragon, for all we know.
I'm gonna laugh if it's like their strongest warrior is gonna be like a goblin, but his like stats are fucking decked. Like, oh shit.
Goblin with a cloud giant strength belt.
Come to find
Yes.
out that it's all. Come to find out, it's actually the Goblin of Baal, a servant of Baal. Well, we're fucked.
It's like the little scene from Thor, or not Thor, Hulk, in the Avengers. Oh, look at the guy! Smack, 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 smack,
Right.
smack, smack.
So.
Protec. Protec.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like I said, I'm just saying is that it does seem like we want to throw Protec.
Oh my god, it's a shapeshifter.
We'll see what happens.
So you guys choose Protec as the fighter.
I guess so.
So I will make him at least just larger for this environment. And Tifa kind of gestures to the stands for you guys to all go and sit. Depending on where you guys go.
Wasn't this the same arena that you kind of roughly used for like?
Like I said, I do
the
sometimes
dragon
reuse
thingy?
things. Yep.
I called it.
I was like,
vaguely
kind of looks familiar.
What's the hidden door place?
I pushed the button.
Countdown starts.
So yeah, Tifa, as she kind of walks through the arena, mentions, all right, you get to use one weapon of your choosing against the warrior that the king, who she gestures up to the stand as a dragonborn male sitting on a throne.
Do we both use the same weapon?
No, just one weapon of each choosing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it's not one of those, like, you choose the weapon we're dueling with, and then... Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be cheating if I cast enhance ability on him without anyone noticing?
Without anyone noticing, it's a key phrase.
Yeah, I guess not cheating if you don't get caught.
I would suggest otherwise. That's just me.
And Tifa goes walking over to the other side and knocks on a big old door. And the creature that steps out, ready to fight.
Fucking A.
Oh, okay. He looks non-threatening.
He's longer and lengthier. He's got decent armor and carries a sword on him.
Long sword, great sword, short sword.
Does any of
Great
do
sword.
any of us kind of know what creature this person is?
You might.
Yeah.
Give me a intelligence check. Everyone who wants to. I'll even roll for.
Perfect.
14. Damn.
I have a 5 and I get a 6. That sucks.
It's an unnatural one.
I almost got a 20 and it flipped to a 2. It just slowly flipped to a 2. Fuck.
Okay, so well, let me do it there. So let me do it here. Well, this actually rolled
Oh,
a
I've
9.
fought orcs before.
Am I the only one that can... Oh, jeez.
Okay, fine. Then we'll just this plus 1. Because it won't let me hit the buttons. So 14 for Kathos.
Thorny, that was a save.
Doesn't matter.
Sure.
If it's the same, then
Yeah, it's the same.
They're
both
so yeah,
+3.
between Kythos and Andreas, you know that the challenger is a Githyanki knight.
Andreas will kind of like relay that to the others. The Yankee Knights. I've only seen one once before, but to see them, they're very rare.
Pretty sure that's an orc. It's got green skin.
You were joking about cities in the skies. Well, there's your civilization that has cities in space.
True, but normally they are stick to their crush, if I remember. I don't know.
I mean, their pressures usually be anywhere, but
And even Jax is looking down over at Andreas like, those are some big words you're using.
Someone's played.
I know my stuff. I know my stuff.
I also just need to say one thing that I've noticed is that based on the size of the profile picture you have used for Andreas Perma,
he looks really short.
Your character looks like he's a child trying to look up high enough to see out the window.
I couldn't crop it very well. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, if necessary, send it to me and I can fix it. But yeah, Tifa kind of stands off to the side, and the Githyanki kind of gives you a little nod as he readies his greatsword.
I go in for a handshake.
So you walk up for a handshake?
Yep.
The knight is hesitant, but he also
I guess we're doing this.
Gestures in the handshake.
Okay, well, that bitch.
And with that, I guess Protect roll for initiative just to see who goes first.
Sure.
The knight prepares itself as it is turn to start. As soon as you guys finish the handshake, his hand goes immediately to the greatsword as he lifts it up and swings. Ouchies.
Yeah, that'll hit.
as it nat 20s.
Ow!
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's not a great start for me.
Holy.
So it deals to you 18 slashing and 17 psychic.
Yep. Out of game. Badger, I saw that coming. You know
It's
my
kind
one
of
weakness.
funny, but still, damn.
Hey, the team got to choose who they were putting in.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that would have stopped the nat 20, though.
Depending on who it is.
A nat 20.
Some of us
We
can
beat the-
force disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, because I could, like, some people can cast Silvery Tongue on and force them to re-roll it.
Mm-hmm. But instead of making its second attack, it chooses to wait to judge its opponent. So yeah, very first strike just crits. And the Githyanki doesn't know whether his opponent is just that weak. Like, he's giving that look, that like judgmental look of either opponent is that weak or I just caught him off guard. So he waits.
Yeah. You know, pretty mad that he didn't, give me the time to be ready. I would like to rage. Well, that's cheap as fuck.
Well, we don't really have like a sound for the rage, do we?
No, that's okay though.
I mean, we've had war cry sounds, but not rage.
I mean, the only rage sound that I could think of that would actually fit would be this.
Oh, Sammy's. Oh, what was
That would
the
be hilarious.
Rage,
oh, fucking Sammy's the fuck?
See, I'm thinking more like Goku powering up.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about when you said Sammy is like thing, were you talking about
It's not.
this?
It's not on this sound.
If I touch you, I'm gonna catch a felon.
No.
Oh.
It's not.
I like this one.
Oh.
I'm gonna download it.
Oh.
No.
And then I'm gonna play it.
Oh, okay. Fucking bet.
I'm expecting good things from this sound.
That's just a command word, so that's a free action. Okay.
Okay.
So you would also like to activate the shield.
Oh, you're bringing the shield in.
What weapon did you choose?
Parallax.
So yeah.
Unless they're counting the shield as a weapon, which I generally don't, even though you can shield bash with it.
Yeah, but that's a utilitarian thing. It's not a damage thing.
Yeah.
Short of having like a spiked shield or something.
Right.
Now I kind of do really want to build a shield character.
The one that's like
Okay, just carries around 2 shields.
Yeah, I want 2 shields that just like blunt damage everything in the middle.
So
like
this,
like Destiny Titans.
This is the sound that I got.
Alright.
Oh, it's gonna wait. Hold on. Not on the right output.
Rage, rage, fucking rage.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, that's
Now I wasn't sure. Did the whole thing go through or the music
No,
one
it
go
kind of
through?
cut out a little bit.
Okay, I turned it up and I'll play it again. So yeah, it's basically like I would like to.
Rage, rage, fucking rage.
Why is it
Cutting out at the beginning? I don't know.
Yeah, I heard it. It wanted to say it like I would like to rage, and then the music.
Let
Yeah,
me
it keeps cutting out a little bit.
let's turn it up even louder to see if it's just a sensitivity issue.
Rage, rage, fucking rage.
There you go. Never heard it.
Yo, that's
Rage, rage, fucking rage.
So yeah, as a
And on that, I think it's
reaction,
time to start swinging.
at that the barbarian goes into rage. To get the Yankees like, what?
Fucking sucker punch.
So yeah, what do you do?
Well, we've gone into a rage. We've activated the shield, and now it's time to start the swinging. The swinging time.
Swinging.
Oh, Utimus.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I see your
you
attack,
can do.
that
I
is
can
you.
do better.
Wow.
The eye for the eye. Oh boy, why does that coming up as 2d10?
Because it wants to automatically filter a rate or a thing. You'd have to right click the button.
the crit. Okay.
Yep. So you get an automatic. What is it? A D10
10.
that you use. So it's an automatic 10 plus whatever you roll. So I would just right click it and roll normal.
roll.
Yep.
10 plus. Oh, why did it roll? Okay, that is a d10. Yeah.
Yep. So you automatically get a 10.
24.
So 24.
Man, if only I had prestidigitation right about now. Be like doing it,
That's
being like a crowd, like
first one.
cheering for Protec.
But yeah, how many texts do you get?
Just the 2.
There's 2? Okay.
But we'll follow that up with a 23.
That'll hit.
Word. For another 16. Max damage on that one. Hell yeah. I will take that.
Ouch.
So right off the bat, out of your 2 swings, he sits there and takes the hit and shifts back a little bit to a stance, like, and it kind of like furrows the brow and like the fighter to fighter. It's like, all right, bitch, here we go.
You asked for it.
Protec, go.
All right.
Go.
He rolls in with a 22 to hit.
Just enough.
So attack 1 does between slashing. Actually, wait, you're raging, so you have everything. You resist everything except psychic, right?
Yep.
So 6 slashing, 11 psychic.
Did you do the resistance on the 6 slashing?
Yes.
Okay. 6 and 11, so 17.
And then goes in for second strike. Rolls another 22. So that hits for 5 slashing, 12 psychic.
see. Five slashing. How much psychic?
12.
12. Okay. Guy likes his 17s. You know, as a reaction on that, I'll Stone's Endurance that as a reaction.
No. What does that do?
Reduce damage dealt by 1d12 plus 5.
Oh shit. So yeah, roll that sucker out.
15.
Yeah.
So I will take 2 damage from that one.
You're like, no, I will not take damage from that. All right, and with that, it is your turn.
Just gonna keep trading. 19.
That'll hit.
That'll hit. Okay. Pretty minimal, but another 8 damage.
Okay.
And second attack. That one will also be a hit because it's one higher.
Yep.
Or another 11. And pass turn.
Alrighty. He wants to try to. So he goes in for an attack. But his second swing, he's going to utilize to try to rip the shield away. Or at least push the shield
I'm not
away.
holding on to it, so.
Oh. I think. Let me double check. I need to see what the shield says. Okay. So it will still count as him trying to rip the shield away. But if he succeeds, he basically triggers the deanimation.
Mm.
But that will still be strength versus strength from you. So he'll go in and make his attack. Jesus fucking Christ.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
No way.
Good times.
What the
Should
fuck?
have saved that Stone's Endurance for this round, but that's fine.
It's get the Yankee. Oh, shite. Okay. So that's still going to be 11 slashing and 20 psychic.
I'm going to use a superiority die.
Okay.
As a parry to reduce some of that.
Parry.
One. That is a reaction. Roll it, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, reduce damage by the number you roll plus 2.
Okay.
That is a D8. So reduce that by 5.
Okay.
Give me that number again.
It would have been 11 damage and 20 psychic.
So we're getting 6 and 20.
Yeah.
Ow.
Definitely now.
And then we go for strength rolls. Let's see if he can push that shield away from you so it deanimates.
I am raging, so we'll roll with advantage.
All right. Despite you being larger and raging, to get the Yankee not having as much AC as you, it's still very agile and powerful.
Yep.
And does manage to knock the shield away from you so it deanimates.
Gotcha. Where's that shield going?
Oh yeah, we could probably have a. I do have the. What was I using for it? Oh yeah, the ducky. The ducky kind of gets tossed off to the side. The Kratos duck.
Great.
But yeah, so it basically just goes back to whatever shield it would look like before. It's no longer animated, so you can't command it unless you pick it up and have it do it again.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Actually,
that
quick
ends-
question.
What's up?
As a spoken word command, how close do I technically have to be to activate it? I mean, it sounds weird, but what does the shield consider to be within earshot?
Well, for most things that would require an auditory thing, it does state that while you are holding the shield, you can speak its command word to make it animate. So at least to get the... So otherwise, once it's animated, it's within a range.
Bare minimum, I have to touch it and...
Yep,
speak
at
the
least to get it to turn on and float kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's doable.
But it is your turn.
All right. Let's see. All. Don't have access to those at the moment. What are my others? Yeah. All right. So first attack roll. Just shy of crit range. Fuck's sake. But that is enough to hit.
That does hit. Yep.
So we'll do 9.
Okay.
Second attack roll, which is a crit.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
What the hell
Such
is
a
going
really
on?
heavy
What is
hits
this,
going on in round 3.
Fourth crit in the fight between the two of them? Like, the rest of you guys are just watching these two just bam. And like, some of you guys are sitting there going, I would not survive that attack. I would not survive that attack. Oh shit, he's doing it again. Fucking hell.
There's my flat roll, so add 10 to that.
So 9 for the first hit and 21 for the second.
Yep. And then would like to action surge.
Ooh, the action surge.
Mm-hmm. And
Do what you
that
need to
gives me
do.
the option of making 2 attempts to break engagement.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So we're going to go with a shove.
Ooh.
Which I think is an opposed strength.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Rolling because raging.
Yep.
And that'll be enough to break engagement.
That will be enough to not only break engagement, but cause him to get tossed back on his ass.
Fantastic. And what is our squares here?
5 foot.
5 foot?
I just made the tokens
Sweet.
bigger to make it easier to see.
Cool. I have not moved yet this round.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to move for the shield. And get
All
that
right.
command word out as a free.
Mm-hmm. So you run over and pick up the shield, get the command word, and it starts to hover again. So you get your AC bonus. Woo, woo, woo.
And let's see here. Let's see. Gotta read what this actually says. I have a second attack per action, so at this distance, I think we're gonna go for the throw.
Oh, the throw of the sword?
The Sun Splitter.
Oh, that's so shit. Oh, shit. Oh,
So
shit.
we're rolling. Ooh, that ain't gonna do it. That ain't gonna do it.
Inspiration!
Oh, yeah. Shit.
I don't know. Do you have an inspiration? Did you? Still?
There's been enough crits in this round that somebody's got inspiration.
Yeah, considering... yeah, I will let you re-roll that. With all the D20s, you can't give the inspiration to anybody but yourself.
Yeah.
Roll it again. For a 19.
Come on. Oh. Oh.
And I will roll damage.
That's good.
And see how this goes.
Ooh.
He does have a DC 15 dex, I think.
So... Ooh, okay. Okay. So, since nobody else has seen this before, you see him take this axe and chuck it to the Githyanki. When it connects, it seems to explode. Big old ball of fiery light. As the target takes 66 radiant damage. And every creature within 15 feet of it must pass a dex save, but you guys are in an arena, so there's no one else around in that area. And if there were more enemies within 15 feet, they would take 66 damage as well.
Tim, wasn't this the little small reward that you gave to some people? Wasn't that for Protec?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's why some of us might. That's why I remember now. Because I remember you reading that off to Johnny.
Mm-hmm. one of Loheim's like, hey, we couldn't fix the trident, but I put the return bracelet to use for another weapon. So that's a lot of damage. Yeah, because you rolled. Yeah, to hit, he rolled a 12 for dex, so he took the whole thing. But there's nobody else around anyway. And when that light clears, you see him slowly trying to stand, but he's definitely, he looks a little scorched. And all you just hear is finally a worthy challenge. And takes a step. And you see him momentarily blink.
Uh-oh.
As his boots seem to activate Misty Step. As he kind of just blinks out and rematerializes behind you and goes in for a full swing.
Gotcha.
But he whiffs.
That is fantastic news.
Not sure if it's the bright light or what, but
I would like to use another superiority die.
Okay.
If he missed, I would like to riposte. See, use your reaction, expend one superiority die to make a melee attack against the attacker.
With what?
Oh. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
We're going, well. Still got the shield.
Fisticuffs?
Still got the bare hand.
Okay.
I'm raging hard enough to throw a punch.
Because I think we said that the action disappears on a success and needs to be resummoned on the next turn.
Yep.
So if you're trying to do things on reaction on his turn, you won't necessarily have it yet.
That is okay. I'm just trying to look at what would be more effective, the shield or just a punch.
That is definitely...
Yeah, how does shield bashing work in 5e?
It's just a push.
That
I believe.
is, I believe, isn't that a maneuver or something?
There is a maneuver.
How does shield bashing work in 5e? Blah, 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 blah. The Shield Master feat gives you neat perks, but doesn't act as a weapon beyond the bonus shove. I mean, given that it's in your hand, you can basically use it as like a bashing, as an improvised, but it doesn't deal extra damage. It would still more or less be treated as a punch.
Let's see, D&D Beyond, using a shield as a weapon.
That would be pretty cool if you could use it as
improvised weapon, 1d4 plus strength. Yeah, we're going to go for the punch. And I will roll a 4. Fantastic use of a superiority die.
It's better to use it and not have...
Well, don't you add the superiority die to the roll? Or you just use it to try to roll
to
a
the
hit?
Damage.
Yeah.
You add it to the damage. Okay. Well, like I said before, there has been 4 nat 20s between the two of you. And there's no one else to give it to but yourself. And if I allowed the first inspiration, you would have a second one.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And
that is a flat 7 bludgeoning.
Hey, that damage is damage. He whiffed and
Well,
you had something in.
You had the superiority to that, right?
Yeah, which is a D8 roll.
So roll a D8 to add to that.
Come on, baby. Something good.
Big money, no whammy.
Ooh, 6. That's good. On
Yeah,
a D8?
Pretty good.
13 damage punch.
So you throw your axe. It explodes. He tries to get up. Misty steps behind you, whiffs his swing, and in your reaction, like, side hand the blade out of the way and just follow it up. You go for a swing. You kind of grab the shield out of the air and just go for a whack against the side of his head.
Lovely.
So it's like you hit him with brass knuckles, but you don't really deal extra damage to it because it's not just a, Goliath fist. I just smacked you over the head with a shield. For a small chunk of damage. Is that still... Oh, jeez.
Yes. Oh, there we go.
But now I can say it's officially your turn.
Oh, he's not going to take a second attack that round?
No, he whiffed on both of them.
On both? Okay.
On both.
Damn.
He rolled a 16 and a 10 against you.
Well, you know it. You love it. It's summoning an axe.
Yep.
Which I don't think it says it's an action or...
It's mostly a free action. It's more of a free action, but it has to be done on your turn.
Yeah.
So, as you kind of learn with with some of your maneuvers, if you try to do it after you've thrown it, you kind of have to improvise something.
So, kind of, he whiffs. I use that opening to throw a punch, and then kind of on the back swing with the axe.
Ooh. So yeah, you throw a punch out and materialize the axe like behind his head.
Pretty much, and then just kind of as I'm pulling back.
Ooh, yeah.
So
God, you're like
you
are
beautiful
doing maneuvers
beam
from like
footage.
God of War. Have you
It's
played God of War
stylish.
recently?
This is why we gave him the Kratos duck as his shield.
It's not the Leviathan, it's the fucking Sun Splitter. So we've got our own fucking radiant freaking blaster here.
We love it. Yeah, it's
fuck Mjolnir.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised the fucking Protec's not done that. Are you not entertained?
Follow it up again.
Yeah.
Angie.
Yeah. Fuck
All
Rog,
right.
fuck Kratos,
So
fuck all those big dudes. We've got Protec.
Actually, hold on.
Oh.
That is, if you take an action on your turn, you can use a bonus, which I haven't yet.
Yeah, because it's a new
to shove a creature within 5 feet of you with your shield.
Oh.
Roll that opposed strength check.
Okay. Oof. Okay, yeah. So it materializes and goes for a couple of swings, but it was still adjusting from the bright light it just took, so it missed. Protec's reaction on the second swing is to like knock the sword to the side, bash him upside the face, and as the follow through of the arm materializes his Sun Splitter backhands. So the Githyanki's head goes straight looking down to the ground. And followed suit as the swing comes back and comes flying forward again like a fucking slingshot. The Sun Splitter collides with the Githyanki's face as his head goes to the sky, which is very promptly followed it up by the other hand coming up with the shield.
With the shield.
Bam! How far does it knock him?
This is brutal.
It's a shove. Yeah.
It's a shove. So you not only, between the two, the impact and the hit, he kind of goes up into the air, off his feet, lands about 10 feet back on his back.
Again.
And it's about this time that you hear the Dragonborn enough. As the Githyanki, even though he's got life left in him, just got punked.
Fucking totally.
This guy's getting his ass kicked.
God damn, Johnny.
I got my ass kicked too, to be fair. That's the
you-
most damage Protect has
So-
seen in 4 rounds.
Well, yes, and here's the thing, though. The trigger for this next bit, the king was going to stop the match once one of you guys got dropped below 50 health. You guys started at the same HP. So you're, yeah, 192.
What?
You
Fuck
just
sake.
did that much more damage that you ended at 112 HP, and he is now below 50. So
Oh.
the
All hail
king,
the rage.
the Dragonborn calls it. He's always, says it's enough. He's seen enough.
I'll put my hand out to try to get him back on his feet.
Okay, so you
As
kind
I
of wander
Kinda
over
breathe
to,
out the rage.
but yeah, he's just laying there for a moment. You kind of walk over and throw out your hand. He kind of stares at you for a moment before throwing an arm up to catch it, and you lift him up, and you just hear him mutter, "In all my years, I have never been bested by anybody in this arena."
Kind of pat the dust off his shoulder. That was a good fight. Been a while since I kind of went all out.
Yeah, despite you being girthier, like you guys stand pretty damn tall.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know what a Githyanki looks like, that's what he just chilling out as. But yeah, you kind of lift him up, and he's all like,
What?
"Wait a minute, I was your enemy, and here you smile? What is this?"
No sense staying angry. Well, it's just a competition of skill. No hard feelings, no grudges, no reason for it.
He kind of nods, and if ever you seek a training partner, let me know. And he eventually
I might
starts.
take you up on that.
He eventually, wanders around you, heads over to the platform, and kind of looks up at the Dragonborn. He's all like, "My king, I have failed you." As he kind of like bows his head, and the Dragonborn's like, "I've never seen you lose. These visitors are something. Go inside and rest." So, to get the Yankee nods and heads inside, and he poofs, and the Dragonborn up top looks over at all of you and says, "Come over here, all of you. I wish to speak with you." And he goes back behind as he comes down off of his platform. Pew.
Don't want to get too close. Respect his distance.
Did we pass?
Yes. Protect one. He proved that we are capable of doing things.
I'm surprised. I thought there'd be 2 more challenges. I was actually kind of wondering where they would be. You know, a test of wit, maybe some magic, you know, or charisma.
Well, this is just your first step. You don't know what's coming up next.
It's fair.
So yeah,
Yeah.
he calls you guys over. You guys go out and meet him.
Oh yeah, Church. Did Church have to leave? Did he dip?
I'm not sure. I'm guessing so.
Yeah.
We'll drag.
He said he was
Thorny
going to
over.
leave him early, so.
I just got back, guys. I'm sorry. I've been in and out.
No worries.
But yeah, with what was it? 4 or 5 nat 20s and a feat of strength. The king kind of calls you over and calls a lot of you and says, okay. As you can tell, this arena has seen lots of combat, but never in all my years have I seen the visiting team put up that much of a fight. This intrigues me. You claim you want to go and fight the world maker.
I'd imagine that anybody that could fly up here would be pretty capable, but
Right? Like, we came on a flying ship. Like, I hate to point that out. I don't know if they pointed that out to you. Like,
No, we've seen lots of flying vessels. We've seen druids in wild shape. We've found those with mechanical abilities, those of natural abilities of great flight. And almost all of them who have passed us, who enter the Badlands, were never heard from again. So we decided to keep everybody out. However, just because you are strong does not mean that you are ready to pass.
so
I have-
first question, what is your name? Who are we speaking to? You are obviously the leader, but we don't know your name. What shall we call you?
Yeah. We don't want to call you Mr. Dragonborn person. That would be very rude.
Kind of looks like a Ted.
I am King Decca. As he kind of gestures to Tifa. And I've seen you've already met some of my Drodeca.
Is Drodeca kind of like high guards, your royal guards?
My personal riders that ride our most fiercest beast, which is our white dragonlings. As they...
I'm sorry to say. How did you even get to tame these beasts? Aren't they, usually grrr and scary?
Patience.
No offense for asking.
As any animal that is born, if you are careful and gentle and patient and find it as it's hatching, a rider and its beast become bonded. There are no other people that particular beast would allow to ride it except those it's bonded to.
Interesting.
Out of character, that's kind of why I want the bond with the. No offense.
And compared to other flying, and he goes on to say, compared to other flying creatures that the Wild Island produces, the wormlings bond at hatch. So, building their trust and rapport, as long as we can get a rider there at the moment it hatches, a new Drodeca is born. And as it gets large enough to be able to ride and fly around the skies, it joins the team. And he mentions that Tifa is the highest ranking member of the Drodeca, as she is not only the eldest rider, but compared to some of the other riders that you guys saw, she looks the most menacing.
So, not to lead this conversation too much and to kind of get back on track, because clearly you have questions for us and why. But the only thing is that also is what do you call this place? What is this city? Because no one has been aware of this area, even from where we came from. They did not even know of this place.
Never did we give it an official name. For us, we just call it the Cloud City. Other creatures have called it by other different names, as the Flying Tundra. But we've never really given it a name. For us, it is just our home. Some of our smaller islands are named. Our central island is the Central Island. There's the Spear Island, the Great Dueling Pits here, and the Wild Island. But we don't really have a name for this place. It's not known for travel besides us that live here. And those that try to pass us, believing they to be mighty adventurers, which we haven't seen any new adventurers since even I was a child.
There's probably a lot that you may or may not be aware of, and we are more than happy to answer any questions. So you have at least answered a couple of ours. I feel like then we are at least obligated to answer a few of yours.
Alrighty. Well, I did say we have 2 more tests before we become friendly and exchange information. You have defeated the test of strength. But we have 2 more tests to besiege you.
Fair enough.
Where did that other thing go?
And I don't know, Tim, if you're aware of the time.
Yeah, that's why I'm debating if I want to start setting it up or be that the thing that happens next time. He says that Tifa will show you back to your vessel, in which case you'll probably be moved to a different island for the next trial, which will happen shortly. Until then, I will see how you perform in the others. And only then will we sit down and answer any question that you might have. Good day. And he kind of nods and dismisses himself.
I think you mean bidet.
No.
No, no, not that. No.
So, the
Yeah, at least a chuckle.
you guys get ventured off to back to your vessel.
Andreas would also
Utilizing the same icon. You guys are moored over here on the island of Duels.
Andreas would offer Tifa if she would like to end her flying wyverns. I know we're gonna be here for the next we're flying off to the next island, but if y'all wanted to come over and eat with us, we welcome you with open docks.
Crosses kind of gives Andreas a look like.
Tifa says,
You may wanna.
we'll wait until after the trials are done.
But what about the test of feasting?
Exactly. Good thinking, Protect.
Celebration. It's always a celebration afterwards. That's always the final trial.
But every trial has to have a celebration.
At the end.
We pass the first one, we celebrate. We pass the second one, we celebrate again.
No. Too much celebrating.
That's no fun.
Exactly. I'm with Protect on this one.
As you guys,
That's like taking a long
Please
rest
put me
every
back
time.
in the level where you found me.
as the you guys enter your vessel, Tifa mentions that to keep in mind that the next couple of tests are going to be different from the ones you just faced. Talk amongst yourselves about those that of you, depending on who decides to go, can survive the next series of tests.
What are they?
I cannot say at this time, but you'll need at least one who is dexterous and one with a strong constitution.
Out of character, I literally have a 20 for dex.
I'm hoping the third challenge involves drinking.
Right.
But yeah, besides that, she kind of nods and says, I will be back shortly once the next trial is prepared. And kind of leaves you to kind of rest and snack and do whatever you guys need to do on your vessel. And with the time frame being the time frame, yeah, this is probably a good spot to stop.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What do you mean, God damn it?
Nah, I won't. God damn it. Gotta wait another 2 weeks for fucking D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got time to try to
The other groups.
figure out, when it comes to the Sky Islands, these Sky Islands, what sort of challenges could they throw at you that's not on the island of Duels?
Okay.
something that involves dexterity, so probably something
I think
that
I'm the next round.
has to be something that may be acrobatic or athletic, kind of like dodging, perhaps, kind of thing. Maze running,
Yeah.
kind of concept.
I
Mhm.
got that one covered.
Andreas is not
Constitution.
good. Andreas is not good with the running. He only has a +3 and oh wait, no, actually, I have athletics, so I'm pretty fast.
Well, I have a +5 to Dex and advantage with athletics.
Yeah. But that's at least something to think about.
But
The
also,
Constitution.
but also keep in mind what Protec had to go through. The trial was very heavy-handed in his favor, but there was something about the trial that he had a severe disadvantage on.
It was the psychic ability. Or the psychic attack.
Mm-hmm. Going into full rage mode, and that's even Johnny said out of character that the fight was pretty much one-sided for Protec, but it was also made to be potentially bad against him too.
Yeah, to take advantage of the, not necessarily my one weakness, but the one thing I am not resistant to.
Yeah.
So just because you're like, I am perfectly set to do this, well, the challenge will most likely throw something at you that maybe you can't succeed in very well. So with that in mind, we will pause for tonight. We will see everybody next time and go straight back into full-on chaos mode. But for now, we'll say goodnight to Discord and YouTube, or not Discord. Yeah, goodnight to Discord as well.
Bye.
Kick in YouTube, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Rage, 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 rage.